Hey guys, this is Frank from Altcoin Buzz. How are all you guys doing? How are your weekends? Today we're going to discuss how Ethereum can very realistically hit $10,000 not in 2025, but in 2021. Now I know what you might be thinking. That sounds like a bit of a stretch. That is an almost 2,800% move from the current price. But I'm going to show you why, psychologically speaking, we would not expect that, but why it nonetheless, based on a basic analysis, which I'll do, a technical analysis, as well as a fundamental analysis, that it is really quite possible that we get there by 2021. So stick around to the end of the video for the technical analysis for why we could reach $10,000. Now, of course, TA only begins to explain why we may reach that level. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go over a bunch of the recent Ethereum news, specifically relating to scaling. So we're going to cover how DeFi experts say that Ethereum 2.0 is not the answer to high gas fees and discover what the answer really is. We're going to look at how building on Ethereum is rising exponentially in 2020 compared to years prior. We're going to get some perspective from crypto investor Ryan Sean Adams about Ethereum and Bitcoin. We're going to look at Ethereum dominance and how this chart could show us how we get to $10,000. And finally, we're going to go over some tweets by Vitalik himself, talking about the decrease in fees that we will see from different Ethereum solutions, which we of course also covered on Altcoin Buzz just a couple days ago. And we will take a look at this ERC20 market capitalization report, which concludes with some interesting facts about all ERC20 tokens versus the Ethereum market cap and how they are likely to flip Ethereum in the very near future. If you enjoy this content and want to see more of it, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that notification button, as it really helps to support the channel. Before I get started, I just want to let you know that I am not a financial advisor and that trading and investing presents financial risks. All right, guys, so let's get started. First of all, I want to know, how were your weekends? I know there was a lot of blood in the market. I know it can be stressful. You may be wondering, why you bought Ethereum or Bitcoin or any of these other cryptocurrencies, knowing full well that they could dump hard. You may be wondering if you have what it takes to be in this space, but I just want to offer you some confidence, some understanding of the cryptocurrency world that we're in. This is a world like no other. It is extremely volatile. There's a lot of emotions in play, but really the best thing to do is to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. And that's what I hope to do with you guys today, looking at Ethereum, first of all, from the monthly chart perspective, but this is something that we will look at the end of the video. First of all, let's have a look at how much people are building on Ethereum. So building on Ethereum is more popular than ever despite price and search decline. Here, this article by CryptoPotato.com, published on September 5th, 2020. The number of web developers building applications on Ethereum has increased year on year since 2018. Now that doesn't sound too impressive, but listen to this. More Ethereum-specific code packages were downloaded in 2020, right? 2020, we're only in September now, than in 2018 and 2019 combined. Now, furthermore, the two most commonly used JavaScript libraries in Ethereum are ethers.js and web3.js. As you can see below from this chart, courtesy of chainshot.com, the use of both code libraries rapidly expanded over just the past 2 years. And this is all despite the huge drop in interest for Ethereum as measured by Google search. So basically, guys, so many developers are building on Ethereum. There's so much excitement on Ethereum in the crypto community, but the world has yet to catch on. So again, we are so early in this bull run. Now, ethers.js is one of the most commonly used libraries on Ethereum. And as you can see here, in January of 2018, weekly downloads totaled a mere 918. That was in January 2018. But by the summer of 2020, that figure had jumped to 196,423, marking a 21,296% increase. So you can see there's just massive development on Ethereum. So many smart minds who are putting their heads to this and trying to create solutions to problems in the world. So this is very exciting stuff, guys. There's so much being built on this. There's no reason to believe that Ethereum price value won't also follow with drastic numbers like this in the coming years. Next, we have this article by Cointelegraph.com. DeFi experts say that Ethereum 2.0 is not the answer to high gas fees. Now, of course, this is according to several experts not, of course, a consensus in the whole industry, but it's actually more bullish than you might think. So these experts all agreed that Ethereum 2.0 is not the answer to high transaction costs. And these experts include Sergey Kunz, the CEO of the oldest decentralized exchange 1inch, Munir Benchemled, the founder and CEO of PowerSwap, a middleware layer that connects protocols, and dApps and trading venues, and Professor Alex Kumanovic, co-founder at Blow Xroute Labs. So what they say is that Ethereum 2.0 has its trade-offs and it still might not be scalable and secure enough to facilitate the user's transactions. And they justify this by saying that the upgrade did not really anticipate the DeFi hype. So to make sure everyone can get involved, the infrastructure needs to be thought through all over again. And furthermore, they add that although Ethereum 2.0 could scale, it might take too long for it to happen. The reason for the delay is mainly due to security. The core team has to make sure it's secure enough before launching it, given how critical it is. So Munir here says that the solutions to this would be the layer 2 solutions, which solve the high costs. Layer 2, of course, is used for all blockchain scalability solutions which are built on a layer below the blockchain's mainnet. The general idea is to move the transactional load, or at least part of it, off the blockchain network. Of course, even with layer 2, there are problems. The complexity of explaining how layer 2 works to end users, as well as the risk of not being able to pay the funds immediately to these users, are the biggest concerns with this solution. But the conclusion here is that it's not just up to Ethereum 2.0 to solve these problems. It's a matter of the community, the transaction generators, and the miners all coming together and to build applications and to bring users on board before ETH 2.0 happens. So basically, the fact of the matter is that ETH 2.0 is not enough by itself, which is why all these ETH 2.0 scaling solutions have been absolutely exploding. One of them that we mentioned, of course, a long time ago on this channel is XDAI Stake. But even there, it doesn't end. It's also a matter of getting the community to onboard these layer 2 solutions, getting companies to adopt these solutions, and doing this all, of course, as fast as possible. Now, some more bullish news for Ethereum here from Fortune Crypto today. 3 things you should know before staking on Ethereum 2.0. So this refers to the testnet on Ethereum 2.0 known as Medalla. As you guys know, that launched a couple months ago and actually led to the massive Ethereum bull run that we saw. So in the mind of Tim Ogilvy, co-founder and CEO of Staked, all of the bugs and unexpected issues of the Medalla network thus far are relatively minor and give no cause for concern. He says, we run 25 other proof-of-stake networks, and so we're used to running in testnets. And he says, and furthermore, he says, I think ETH 2.0 is in pretty good shape relative to a lot of the other test nets we've seen. So far things are looking good. And here we have some perspective from crypto investor Ryan Sean Adams. He says it's a totally viable strategy to ignore all the farming noise and just buy Ethereum, Bitcoin, and a few choice DeFi capital assets. You don't have to participate in the side quests and mini games. They can be distracting, sometimes toxic. Although we are very focused on looking at a lot of these altcoins, if you don't have that much time or you don't want to be trading back and forth, you just enter a solid position for Ethereum and wait. And guys, I think that will be one of the best investment decisions you could make over the coming years. Furthermore, Ethereum smart contract activity is at an all-time high, according to this article by Decrypt.co, published on September 4th. Now, of course, this has also led to the Ethereum average transaction fee reaching new highs, although today you can see we have a nice big discount in the fees at just $3.16 per average transaction. That being said, we are, of course, pretty much at the highest that we've ever been in all of Ethereum's history. And if you zoom in, you can see that we have this sort of exponential bounces, but then we come down and we seem to have a pretty steady, solid line of support here in terms of Ethereum transaction fees. So hopefully this won't rise too much over the coming weeks and months. But the exciting thing, guys, is that there are so many coins, so many projects which are working on the Ethereum layer 2 scaling solution. We have Loopring, which is in 64th place. We have, of course, Omise, the OMG network. There's Matic, XDAI Stake. There's also the Fuse network, which is not being talked about much, but this is one which I think is potentially undervalued. I look forward to actually making a review of the Fuse network in another video. And then, of course, another big player is the Matic network in 128th place. So there's a lot of interesting solutions, a lot of people working very hard on Ethereum layer 2 solutions. And the thing is, even when ETH 2.0 comes out, that won't be enough. We will actually add layer 2 onto it. So that is explained in a bit more detail by Vitalik himself. He says the better solution is drastic increases in scalability through rollups and sharding. Of course, rollups is part of the layer 2 solutions and sharding is part of Ethereum 2.0. Optimistic and ZK rollups can increase capacity from 15 transactions per second to 3,000 transactions per second by doing most of the transaction processing on layer 2. So guys, this is just layer 2. This just shows how powerful these layer 2 solutions are. We're talking about a 200x increase in the number of transactions per second, which can be achieved through layer 2 solutions. And then he says sharding, on the other hand, increases the capacity of the base layer by about 100x. This could lead to a 100x decrease in fees, though realistically in the long term it would not decrease quite as much because people's interest in using Ethereum, i.e. demand, would also increase. So the conclusion is that there's plenty of space for not only Ethereum 2.0, but for these layer 2 solutions. And this is such an important topic that we also covered this in an article for Altcoin Buzz. Vitalik validates OMG LRC scaling solutions to reduce gas fees. And the interesting thing here is that Vitalik has noted that these solutions for scaling to 2,500 transactions per second already exist. The problem is that such solutions are not being taken advantage of. So guys, basically there's always concerns at any point in time in history in cryptocurrency, and also in the future there will always be these worries and concerns. Oh, the fees are too high, this is not working, that is not working. But you really have to realize, get perspective that there's so many smart people working on this, so many great projects which are focusing on this problem, and it's just a matter of time before it gets fixed. And even when it gets fixed, the demand will keep on growing, and so the solutions which we will need will also keep on coming. So it's just an ever-growing process of more demand for Ethereum, which will lead to more demand for these layer 2 solutions, and that will in turn lead to more solutions which will be created by these developers, just as they have been with Omise, of course, recently being adopted by Tether, which of course was very bullish for Ethereum. So before we get into the price action chart to show you why I think we can very realistically hit $10,000 by 2021, let's have a look at this report. This, of course, is a report by app.santiment.net, and it's the ERC20 market capitalization report written on September 3rd, 2020. Now, it's a long report. I'm not going to go over all the details, but the conclusions here are very interesting and relevant. So the ERC20 market capitalization continues to grow and is likely to flip Ethereum's own market cap in the very near future. And interestingly enough, the ERC20 market remains highly concentrated. The biggest incumbent projects dominate the market even more so than in 2018. And here's some good news. USDT's market share has continued to decline steadily over the past few months, with major gains recorded by other top ERC20 assets such as Link and CRO. And finally, while the ICO era is gone, new ERC20 projects are still being launched, with the 2020 class already accounting for 20% of the ERC20 market cap. So as you can see, there's a lot of progress in terms of the Ethereum network. A lot is being done, a lot more developer activity, a lot more smart contract calls. And all this bullishness leads me to believe that Ethereum could very realistically hit $10,000 within the next year. Now, one major reason for this is a fact of human psychology. The fact is that humans tend to overestimate how much we can achieve in the short term. They think that the scaling solutions will all magically solve all of Ethereum's problems within a few months. They think ETH 2.0 will come out in a short period of time and solve everything. But conversely, and this is the interesting part, guys, we consistently underestimate how much can be achieved in the long term. And that relates to how much development can be achieved, the solutions which can be created, and of course the price which can be attained. So that leads me to Ethereum to $10,000. How can we reach it? This is how, guys. First of all, let's have a look at the previous massive move up. This, of course, is the 1 month chart on Bitfinex. The previous move up was a 25,913% move up, all right? But this move up that we're gonna see, if we get to $10,000, we wouldn't even need to make a 25,000 move. It would be barely 11,000 move up from these previous lows. So that would mean less than half the growth that we saw between December 2016 and January 2018. Now, in December 2016, when the price was at a low of $5.86, if anyone said the price would get to almost $1,500, they would say, you are crazy. That is never going to happen. They would simply laugh at them. So what do you think that says about the current state of things? You think that it's impossible that we will get to $10,000? Honestly, $10,000 might even be conservative. But have a look at this. Why do I think we will reach this within 16 months? Why do I think that we can get to this green target by December 2021? Well, the reason is quite simple. Look at the history over here. History tends to repeat itself, and look how long it took us for this 25,000% move. 13 bars equals to 13 months. It's not unrealistic that within 13 months, we would see a similar massive growth, and that would lead us to this $10,000 level by the end of 2021. Now, another reason to believe that we might reach this level is based on this chart. So as you can see right now, Ethereum dominance is at about 12%. Let's just call it 10% for simplicity's sake. And look at the previous high of Ethereum dominance. It was about 30%, right? So let's first of all assume that Ethereum dominance stays at 10%. If you're in this space, if you've got Bitcoin, if you believe in cryptocurrency, you surely believe that Bitcoin will reach $100,000. And honestly, that is not even an aggressive target. That's just a 10x from here. That's just a 5x from the previous all-time high of $20,000. I think that's very reasonable. So if Bitcoin were to make a 10x and go from basically $10,000 to $100,000, that would make Ethereum go from its current price of $364, let's call it $350, all the way up to $3,500. However, if we assume that Ethereum might reach its previous all-time high of 30% of the market, then of course that number would have to be 3x. So a 3x of $3,500 would actually take us above $10,000. So let's just stay more conservative with our $10,000 target, but that's basically how we get there. If Bitcoin gets to $100,000 and ETH goes back to 30% of market dominance, which is not unrealistic given all the development and all the activity on the Ethereum network, then Ethereum could easily reach $10,000 by the end of December 2021. Now, I personally have more Ethereum in my portfolio than Bitcoin even, and I intend to keep it that way for the foreseeable future because I really do think that Ethereum has more growth potential. Of course, it will probably correct more drastically than Bitcoin as well, but I do think that it has more growth potential in the coming years than Bitcoin does. All right, guys, but that's been it from me for today. I hope you enjoyed this bullish video on Ethereum, including, of course, some of the news about Ethereum. Let me know what you think of my Ethereum price prediction, if you think that it's crazy, if you think that it's realistic. Maybe you think we'll get there sooner. Maybe you think we'll get even higher to $20,000. It's not impossible, guys. I wish you the best of luck with your crypto investments. I hope that you're not getting stressed, you're not letting your emotions get the best of you, and that you're hodling on. And just remember, guys, if you can't stomach a 30% loss, you don't deserve a 300% gain. In other words, if you've made losses, don't worry, hold on, and you will get these gains. This is just part of the process of being in this space. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.